Hello, good evening, or I should say good night. But I'm not signing off, I'm just signing in. Let's get in to the news today, or our talk for today. Let's talk about a few things. Donald Trump popping up in the news again, but not Donald Trump that you know and love, or hate, depending on who you are, what side of the fence you stand on. It's his son, Donald Trump Jr. I like to say Junior like that. Junior. Junior. Junior has been in a huge controversy over the past few days. It's just been developing more and more, mostly on the mainstream media side, where they're trying to depict him as a colluding Russian. He's trying to collude with the Russians. He's trying to create this undermining with the Russians to help aid his Trump administration win the election. And it's all built on a throne of lies. It's all just picked out. As you could guess from my other videos, I like to say that mainstream media likes to pick out certain pieces and bits of information. They're like crows. They just pick at certain things that they like, and they build a nest of lies. That's more birds than, well, I think birds have more brains than these dudes. Because if they would have had looked into this woman that Donald Trump Jr. had been supposedly colluding with in order to gain some intelligence, this woman has nothing to do with Russia, Russian agency, Russian whatever. She's more or less a Democrat. Not bashing on Democrats, but she's been at some Democrat parties, not parties, but some hearings. She's been involved with Democrats just in general, so she is a Democrat. And to say that she is against Donald Trump would be probably far-fetched, but it probably could be well-suiting since it's kind of what it's all leading to. So it was probably just looked over that she was a Democrat in Russian sheep clothing. So the mainstream media like to point it out that Donald Trump Jr. was he was involved in a conspiracy with all of this, which I find complete BS, especially since Hillary Clinton, which is completely irrelevant at this point, but I'd like to point out that her emails, where have they gone? Where were they smashed up? Where were they deleted to? Well, the liberal side just likes to pass that over like a great Jewish holiday. They just passed over that, and they just like to nitpick. They're like birds, they're like crows. They pick at the dead corpses of tiny specks of information, and they blow it up. They blow it up as C4, and CNN is, well, not just CNN in particular, but just mainstream media sources in general. Let's move on to Ford. I don't like Ford, and that's nonetheless, nonetheless, I mean, well, when I seen this article, I picked it in particular because Fords that are being manufactured from Mexico and delivered over to the United States have been, some have been reported to have marijuana in the wheel wells. Now, this wouldn't be a problem if marijuana were legal already. So, let's just not make this about me ragging on Ford. Let's make this all about legalization, and that's just what I want to make it about. Like, we've come thus far into 2017, and only a tenth of our United States of America is weed friendly. And while it is medically safe, or well, It is more medically inclined instead of recreational use prohibited. Uh, I just wish that people would find the use in this and stop depicting it as such a horrible gateway drug. And most of the people that do say that, maybe they tried it once or have never tried it at all and just believe the words of mainstream media or news sources or whatever they were taught in school. I remember, like, fourth grade, like, it was completely dumb. It was like this trashy documentary where a couple of kids are smoking pot. The one kid gets run over by a car, and they have this big old funeral for him. They do another thing where this kid's trying to smoke a cigarette in his bathroom, but gets caught and gets put in detention. And they're all like, "Don't end up like these kids." One other one that I thought was completely hilarious, and then after this, I'll wrap it up. This kid who tries dip for the first time. I used to dip a lot. So he tries dip for the first time. He gets cancer after his first time, ends up passing away. He was the lead football player, lead head football player in his school. And I just kind of thought it was funny. One time and you're done. One time of pot and you're fried. One time of smoking cigarettes and you're trashed. Which cigarettes, they're bad. Dip, bad. Nicotine is bad. It should be prohibited, not marijuana. So that's where I want to end it today. Food for thought. Comment down, like, subscribe, show up for the next video, and I'll see you there. Peace.